A Duke University Medical Center analysis found that obese workers filed twice the number of workers' compensation claims, had 7 times higher medical costs from those claims, and lost 13 times more days of work from work injury or work illness than did non-obese workers. And I immediately thought of MeMe Roth, because MeMe is sort of the go-to person on all matters concerning, weight, ever since she took on the Girl Scouts. By the way, you want a Thin Mint or a shortbread while you're here?
Do you have some hidden back there?
I do not, but if I had them, I'd be eating them. What was your beef with the Girl Scouts?
Cookies aren't going anywhere. But do they have to be sold by civic organizations to the tune of $700 million a year? We don't want anything being sold by civic organizations that undermine the health of the communities they serve.
All right, then you the American flag and Chevrolet after that? Is that, and baseball?
No, but we have given Unilever a little bit of a hard time this week for being somewhat anti-breastfeeding. Their new Suave shampoo commercial tells you if you nurse, your hair and your will be flat.
Okay, but now that I can get a look at you, because you're normally at the other end of a telephone line, what do you got, like a 28-inch waist going for you? I mean, it's easy. It's easy for you to say, honestly. I mean, I know that this obesity survey is now going to cause employers, I think, to get tough with employees, and they're going to make a beef over workers' compensation. Bottom line is, I mean, you must be fit. But those insurance pools are drawn because there's someone who's not so fit, and there's you, and it all balances out in the end.
Okay, you hit on several great points. Yeah. Waist, brought you a little present. We all know that no matter what your height is, you take that, divide it by 2, and your waist should be no bigger than half. So you don't have to do this on camera, but I'm going to leave this with you.
I'm not sure if we'll have time for that in this portion.
Yeah, we'll have to get back to that. The second thing that you talked about is so easy for me. And, I do come from a long line of obesity. I'm not as young as I used to be. We know our metabolism is going to slow every year, and I'm a parent. I've had 2 kids. So I have every strike against me, and I could use all of those things as an excuse. But you know what? I work out every single day. When most people are saying yes to Girl Scout cookies and to birthday cakes and to French fries, I'm saying no thanks.
So you don't have sympathy for someone who finds themselves in that position, that they're overweight, and you think everybody can get it under control?
There's 2 things. If you and I were 2.5 again, and you invited me over for a play date,
right?
And what was your favorite thing? A Hot Wheels car?
Then sure, still is.
Let's say I took that from you immediately. What would you have done?
Cracked you.
Okay, right. So what we learn from toddlerhood to adulthood is there's impulse, right? And there's action, but there's a gap in between. So you've said people found themselves in an overweight predicament. People don't find themselves in an overweight predicament.
Some do.
Oh, no, genetics determines how the extra fat's going to be stored, but genetics has never made anyone drive to Dunkin' Donuts.
How many times have you seen a family where everyone is heavy?
Yeah, now, you know what they're doing? They're eating pizza with a side of French fries and giant sodas.
No, it's a metabolism, genetic kind of a thing.
That would mean I would be fat.
Look, I'm a bald guy, in case you haven't noticed. Okay,
it looks good on you, though. It works.
Thank you. On my mother's side of the family, I pulled that gene.
Yeah.
I mean, baldness runs in the family. I mean, there's some folks out there who being heavy runs in the family.
Yeah, and I pulled those heavy genes, too. And what I have to do is, instead of using that as an excuse, we have to use that as forewarning to be extra vigilant about the choices we make. Is it as easy for me to be thin as it might be for someone else? No way. But it's important for me to remain healthy. I'm a parent. I want to live. I want to have a great time. So what you have to do is, if you've pulled the obesity genes, you've got to take all the actions to prevent it. And if you're an overweight, you do not burden your child with that obesity. You've got to be in front of it and not let them ever get overweight.
Here's the question: is if folks want in on this, I'm interested to know if MeMe Roth speaks for you on matters concerning weight. You know the numbers at home in Philly or nationwide: 215-839-1210. Hey, Mark, talk to me on the Big Talker 1210. Hi.
To hear you guys this morning. Great topic. I love your show. Thanks for having me on.
Thank you.
I'm an employer. I have a construction company out of Lansdale, Pennsylvania. I actually have an incentive program where I have a few employees that need to lose about 40 to 50 pounds, and I have it scaled in such a way that they can get $1,000 if they get the weight off. And I believe that it will increase my bottom line productivity, and these guys will be happier.
All right, but you say incentive program. If someone doesn't drop weight, fire them?
It depends if they continue to be productive for me. I mean,
Mimi, you and I. Thanks for that.
I'm here to make money, right? If they can't toe the line, I can't use them.
You and I have talked, Mimi, about Scott's Miracle Grow.
Exactly.
Tell everybody who's watching or listening what they've done at Scott's.
Yeah, what Mark is mentioning is something sort of similar to what the CEO of Scott's, Kim Lon, has done. He found out, like all employers are finding out, and like the Duke study showed, it's very expensive to have overweight employees. If you're overweight, you're unhealthy, it costs all of us. So what the CEO of Scott's, Kim Lon, did is he said, look, you know what? I'm going to give you perks, including free gyms. I'm going to give you physical fitness and physicians on site. I'm going to give you everything you need to become healthy, but you're going to have to become healthy. If you smoke, you cannot be an employee. They gave them a time limit, and if you're still a smoker, you're gone. As far as obesity, there's some laws, you know, it's protected.
You think that's the direction employers are going to go?
It's absolutely the direction. This Duke study is the reality, and I'm glad this has happened. This is an important development. We've talked about feeling sorry for people who are overweight. We've got to move away from that, and we've got to say, look, it is personal responsibility, and if it has to hit us in our pocketbook for us to get in front of this, then this is what's going to happen. And all CEOs across the country are watching Scott's because, of course, since he's done something so bold, there's lawsuits. Exactly. So they're rooting for him because all the companies want to do it because it's just the costs are escalating.
Just a couple of seconds left. Will you pose naked for Philadelphia Magazine if it's tasteful?
A healthy body is nothing to be ashamed of.
I'll take that as a yes. You too can send your pictures in for the Thursday or Friday edition of the program if they'll have me back. Thanks for being here, Mimi. I appreciate it very much.
Thank you.